What? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and wherever you are in the world and whenever you are tuning into this video. My name is James Porcelli.
I'm Brian Thomas.
And welcome to another edition of the Ruthless Talk Round Table. And today is all about WrestleMania 40. WrestleMania 40, ladies and gentlemen, is a week from today. There's a lot of matches, a lot of stuff to go over, some predictions, some good debate, and all that fun stuff. We got a bunch of content creators who are we about to introduce in just a second. But this is going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this. Our very first WrestleMania roundtable. And of course, me and Brian, we will be discussing WrestleMania next week, the pay-per-view itself, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight into it. Brian, you ready to do this? You ready, bro?
Man,
hey,
man.
LA Knight. LA Knight, are you ready for this? Let me hear you.
Absolutely, man.
That's totally. Shout out to LA Knight. Freaking love it. All right, y'all. Well, let's go ahead and we're going to introduce all of our guests. So, first guest that we're going to introduce to you, he is a familiar face on this platform. He was actually a part of our Royal Rumble roundtable, and he is part of the Wrestling Pit podcast. He's been a tremendous supporter to the platform. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you my man, Shane. Shane.
What's going on?
What's up,
y'all hear
man?
me?
Welcome
yeah,
back.
we can hear you loud and clear, brother. Welcome back to the show, my man. How are you, man? Freaking
man, I'm
introduce
good,
yourself
man.
or reintroduce yourself. Go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
My name is Shane. Y'all can subscribe to the Wrestling Pit podcast on YouTube, Wrestling Pit podcast on TikTok. All the social medias is Wrestling Pit podcast. Everything is pretty much the same. So that's pretty much it.
Good, man. It's good to see you too, man. I feel like it
Oh
was.
man, man, I appreciate y'all, man, for giving me.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Of course, man. Absolutely. And of course, if you guys are all interested in all these people that we are going to bring upon on today, all of their information, their podcast, all of their stuff, their social medias are going to be in the description down below as well. They'll plug their stuff in later on. So our next guest, ladies and gentlemen, so since WrestleMania is in Philadelphia, what better way to introduce a guest who is from Philadelphia? So allow me to introduce to you a person who has been another tremendous supporter to the platform, who has been here for quite some time now, has watched our podcast and has been a part of this journey with us since the beginning. I'd like to introduce to you guys Owen.
What's
is
up?
On here to the show. What is happening, man?
What's
Owen,
going on?
I'm doing great.
Welcome to Ruthless Talk, man. How are you, bro? It's good to see you.
I'm doing good, bro.
Good, man.
Good
if
to
you like
meet
to
you, man.
Good. Go ahead if you want to introduce yourself to our lovely community, man. The floor is yours.
My name's Owen. I don't really got a lot of I have social media, but I don't have any wrestling related social media.
All right, man.
All
Nice.
right,
well,
buddy.
like I said, I do want to appreciate you, man, since it's pretty much the first time I'm seeing you in person, or like someone in person, if you want to say via Zoom or whatever is in person. But I want to appreciate you, man. You've been a tremendous supporter to our platform,
Absolutely.
to our podcast, and just want to you being on this show. We're just giving you that love and that admiration right back to you, man. So I'm glad to have you, man. We are glad to have you.
I appreciate it so much.
Yeah. Of course, man. Of course.
Of course.
All right. Our next guest, ladies and gentlemen, is somebody who I had the honor of joining their podcast. He is known for one half of the Ring Fanatics, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to introduce to you my man, Nick. Nick, what is up, my man? Welcome to the show. How are you, man? Introduce yourself to our Ruthless Talk community. The floor is yours, my man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me on. Long time coming, a few months coming. My name is Nick. I'm the founder of the Ring Fanatics YouTube/content channel. You can follow us all platforms at the Ring Fanatics across the board. Every social media platform you use, find us there. I appreciate it. Can't wait to chop it up with you guys and talk about WrestleMania. I'm all for it.
Heck yeah, man.
Glad to have you, Nick.
Glad to have you, man. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And last but most certainly not least, you know what, Brian? We've had tremendous guests and everything on this platform, but man, we need some female energy up in here. You know what I'm saying, bro? We need that fire female energy. So allow me to introduce to you our final guest of this roundtable, ladies and gentlemen. The one, everybody say hello, friends, to Christina. Christina, welcome to the show. Welcome to Ruthless Talk. Introduce yourself to our fine community. The floor is yours. Take it away.
Hi, friends. Thank you, Jason and Brian, for having me. So I basically on TikTok, I kind of base my content on wrestling and makeup, kind of the glam side of wrestling.
I got you.
And
Nice.
On TikTok, you can find me at Christina.with.a.h_91. And it's the same for YouTube and Instagram. And then on Twitter and just Twitter, it's Christina with the H, but the with doesn't have an H altogether.
Thank you so much, Christina. Thank you guys. Thank you, all of you guys, for being a part of this.
Absolutely.
Been looking forward to this
Absolutely.
all freaking week long. So,
Yes,
WrestleMania 40, ladies and gentlemen, it is a week from today. So, of course, with WrestleMania, it's its own brand itself, right? There's going to be excitement. There's going to be intrigue. There's going to be all of that stuff, et cetera, right? So the build-up, and I'll probably start this off, and I'm going to go around the table as we go here. So the build-up, listen, and I'm just going to be straightforward with y'all. You guys, most of y'all have followed this platform, and you guys know how I dissect this pro wrestling shtick, WWE and everything. I'm not going to lie. This build-up is probably one of the worst build-ups in probably recent memory, especially what's going on in the main event with Cody versus Roman. And of course, with The Rock, and as great as The Rock has been doing in regards to this tag match and pretty much selling WrestleMania by himself, like legit selling this tag match and WrestleMania by himself. And then, of course, you have Drew McIntyre doing a shtick with Punk that has nothing to do with freaking WrestleMania. And then, of course,
Exactly.
you have things like Bayley, you have Iyo Sky. That's honestly been one of the main consistent storylines in this entire card. And even the undercard has, just a lot of promise and a lot of intrigue as well with how good those undercard matches could be. LA Knight and AJ Styles and that whole home invasion segment, right? I mean, you got Jimmy and Jay, which you can argue and say that the feud kind of speaks for itself because it's brother versus brother and everything. But when it comes to just Roman and Cody, it just doesn't feel intrigue to me. It just doesn't, because it's pretty much the same match that we just saw last year. And Roman has kind of, because of this whole Rock situation, he's kind of been pretty much just second fiddle, right? I mean, Roman is great. Roman has done tremendous for years and years, but now that The Rock is involved, he calls himself the final boss, but you would think that the final boss is the man that's holding the title, that's held it now for thousands upon thousands of freaking days, especially with Cody Rhodes too. Cody Rhodes has just been booked so poorly up to this point. I mean, Brian, we've spoken about it, the Brock Lesnar feud, freaking Judgment Day, and doing everything that just doesn't seem that important to what he's doing. Sure, he's a great talent and people love him and he's selling merchandise, but for what he's been doing, nobody's cared up until he won the Rumble. So there could be a lot of still good stuff going into this pay-per-view. There could be a lot of moments, a lot of shocking moments, a lot of, OMG moments in this pay-per-view, for sure. But when we really dissect this, man, there's not a whole lot to really dissect and to sink our teeth into because of just, of course, the injuries and the inconsistent booking, the Vince McMahon lawsuit, like we've talked about. So a lot of it plays a part. And it is unfortunate, but WrestleMania, it's a brand of its own. So people are going to be excited and they're going to pretty much watch at the end of the day. So, but Brian, as my co-host, I'm going to have you start, man. Your thoughts about this build-up and everything else as a whole, man. Take it away. The floor is yours.
I would say I'm 50-50 with the build overall. If you want to take it for the past 6 months or whatever it may be, it just The Rock and lately especially Drew have been the main selling points. But I think once we get to Mania and the coming out of Mania,
right,
I think there's a lot of shit going to go down just on both nights. And I'm hoping and I think that most wrestling fans could all agree that this is going to be a pretty damn good WrestleMania and a lot of good shit is going to come from it. I hope.
For sure.
But yeah, up and down the card, there's, I'll be taking the Iyo and Bayley match, but storylines that have gone on for a couple years, Jimmy and Jay, of course, within the bloodline. Of course, you're going to get oh my god moments in the U.S. title match. So there's a lot I'm really looking forward to, and I think the wrestling community, we're always there's gonna be something that is fucked up or whatever, no doubt. But I think I'm really anticipating a really great 2 nights. I really am.
Well, I mean, I'm going to it, so I'm excited for that.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
As for the build-up, I think some parts have been great. Some parts have not been so good. Obviously, The Rock and what he's been doing has been great. I just feel like they did much better last year with the build-up than they did with this year.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was probably one of the greatest build-ups to Mania ever.
That was a very good build-up last year. Yeah, and that's why, James, you and I have stated, like, it should have happened last year, man.
Oh, Brian, don't even get me.
We're not going to go down that road.
Don't even get me started, Brian, because we'll be on here for hours. So
you get him angry so early on. Don't be.
I'm going to get amplified real quick, but we'll save that for a different day. Shane, man, your thoughts on this build-up to Mania? What are you excited for? All that jazz, man. The floor is yours. Take it away, bro.
Actually, I'm like Owens. I'm actually going to be there. So
nice.
That's
okay.
Man, I'm jealous as shit for both.
Me too.
Have a great time, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm actually going to be at Stand and Deliver also. So I'm going
nice.
Okay.
Oh. I think I think the build-up has been pretty weak, but I think it can be a lot of storytelling in the ring. And I think that's where it needs to come down to. It needs to come down to a lot of storytelling in the ring, and especially for that tag match. Like James said, The Rock has been basically selling the damn match, regardless. I was actually more wanted to see Cody versus The Rock than Roman versus The Rock. If y'all wanted to be honest,
right?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh my god,
But in regards, I think it's going to be a cool WrestleMania, and I just hope that they get enough time to tell these stories in the ring. So
no, for sure. No, I mean everybody, like the talent is going to do their thing, regardless of what's been given to them, man. Like they'll go out there and they'll do their thing. Christina, I'm gonna send this off to you. Your thoughts on this build-up? What do you think? What are you excited for? This floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the build-up, I agree with all of y'all. It's basically just like The Rock. They're selling The Rock. And I mean, The Rock is my GOAT. He's been my favorite since I started watching. So I'm excited to see The Rock on my screen.
Love it.
But I am kind of disappointed that, we're not going to get Iyo and Bayley to main event, because I feel like it was such a big deal when Cody was going to give up his spot to The Rock because he won the WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, but Bayley also won the Royal Rumble. And, they did the same thing to Rhea last year. She won the Royal Rumble and she was the second to last match for the tag team title match. So kind of disappointed about that. But I feel like I can't believe that it's already next week.
I know.
We had so much time.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, the build-up's just kind of like, I'm happy to see The Rock. So
right. No, fair enough.
50-50.
Yeah, so the build-up could be better. It could have been better heading into it. I just feel like most of the storylines happening kind of got overshadowed by The Rock. And that storyline, if The Rock wasn't there, maybe some stories would have been like, okay, this feels very important as it should be. But regardless, I'm going to be excited for it anyways. Like you said, Shane, what's happening in the ring is going to tell the story. So I know it's going to be, one great cards since it's 2 nights of it. So I'm expecting a lot of great spots, a lot of entertaining matches, and something that people are going to talk about afterwards. Like, oh shit, so and so won, and the certain spots happen. It's happened every year since it's become 2 nights. So I'm just looking forward to a lot of great action, a lot of great wrestling for like a couple of days since it starts typically Thursday with independent shows, Hall of Fame Friday night, NXT. So looking forward to a great couple of days of wrestling.
Let's dive straight into this match card. Let's get straight into it. So The one match I know we're not going to fucking talk about is this freaking 6-pack ladder match. We're going to just throw that shit straight into the fucking garbage because
we just split up the titles already.
Yes.
I mean, Brian, you also said it best about these freaking tag belts. Like the tag belts, the fact that they're still 2 separate belts just says everything you need to know, as well as this tag division on how freaking weak it is. You have like guys like Miz and R-Truth. You have freaking DIY. But listen, much love to everybody involved in that match. You know, much love to all of them. But like, I'm sorry. Like, if you're going to give me the bare minimum for this tag division, I'm not going to put any care and effort to even talk about it. So, as I'm sure you guys agree, we've spoken about it a couple days ago about leaving this match off of this roundtable. So I'm sure we can all come into agreement with that. But let's jump into this card. So the first match that I have is AJ Styles versus LA Knight. So I will kick this off and I will go around the table with this one. So listen, this is a match right from the jump that honestly, you think of AJ Styles and LA Knight, you think brilliant. This could be freaking great. This could be freaking epic. And right out of the gate, they turned AJ Styles heel. It was very weird what they did. They had the AJ Styles heel turn and they ended up feuding with Roman Reigns in the Bloodline. They had everybody involved in that fatal 4-way match. So pretty much Styles was pretty much an in-betweener. And then finally, Elimination Chamber, they finally did the turn. And now they're finally coming to butting heads. So at least they finally put the stamp on that. However, since then, I feel like there was just something missing, right? Is as good as AJ Styles and LA Knight sounds, there was still something missing in regards to all of this. And then that freaking home invasion segment, which freaking was freaking awesome. I've emphasized how much I freaking love that. And we need more shit like that to tell stories in freaking professional wrestling today, because it's freaking match, promo, match on a freaking loop. So, and especially this is so cool for LA Knight, because LA Knight, ever since last year, has gotten the short end of the stick, from WrestleMania to Madison Square Garden to all the other pay-per-views after WrestleMania. And it just seems like this company, because of how white hot this dude has got, they just try to cool him down every chance that they freaking get. So at least, you know, beggars can't be choosers. He's got a spot at Mania. It's not that who I want to win, it's who needs to win this match. And who needs to win this match is LA Knight. Like, this needs to be LA Knight's freaking moment. For AJ Styles, it's unfortunate because you can make an argument for AJ Styles. This dude hasn't been booked well at all for over the past several years. But the match is going to be tremendous. I think it's honestly arguably going to be one of the best matches for the weekend. I'm talking the entire weekend. For just the animosity that's now built up with that home invasion segment. So, but we shall see, man. But let me go around the table. I will start off with you, Christina.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for it. You know, I think a lot of us were hearing the rumors that he was going to be going against Logan Paul for the United States title.
And the reason, look, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Christine. The reason why I say that is just like, I would have been fine with LA Knight going after a mid-card title. It's just that then why rush the match with Roman? It just didn't make sense for him to go backwards and not forward. So that was just weird. But yeah, continue.
Exactly. So that's probably why they didn't do that. But, you know, I did like the segment last week where they were at his house. It definitely gave like old school Attitude Era vibes. And then also, I don't know if y'all saw on social media, I think it was yesterday, I didn't see AJ's video, but Nick Aldis posted a video that AJ had posted, if LA Knight shows up, I'm not showing up. And Nick Aldis basically responded to him like, you should know me, that's not how I work. But in this case, LA Knight is not going to be there. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you know?
Yeah, I hadn't seen that.
I haven't seen that either. By the way, shout out to Nick Aldis. Aldis too.
He's doing amazing.
He actually feels like a freaking authority figure for once. Instead of Adam Find My Balls Pierce, freaking, you know, that whole spiel.
AJ Styles is my favorite wrestler of all time. So I know the match is going to be a banger. I followed them since TNA days. So I know the match is going to be pretty much dope. The whole invasion of the house, that was awesome. That was cool. I know LA Knight might win the match, but AJ I think need this win a lot more than LA Knight. because the way AJ Styles been booked,
Yeah,
and he been booked very, very.
oh,
very
for sure. Oh, yeah.
I just think, and again, I mean, whoever wins is the match itself gonna be cool. So whoever wins wins. But I just think AJ Styles needs this a little bit more than LA Knight do.
Yeah, it's definitely a toss up, right? Because both of these dudes for an entire year has been booked complete shit, and it's really a toss up. But yeah, no, I hear you, Shane. There's definitely an argument for AJ Styles needing a big victory because he really hasn't had that for quite some time. So it's going to be interesting to see who they decide to go over in this matchup for sure.
So for me, it's really 50-50 here, to where like I personally wouldn't mind who wins it. I think they're both in the same boat of, like you said, they've both been booked not the best within the past at least year or so.
Yeah.
So it's really who wants it more and who needs it more. I also think that, as great as the storyline is, I also think that Triple H might have seen the reaction that fans gave to them and how LA Knight wasn't booked last year in WrestleMania and how he should have. He saw that, put him on the card, gave him a great opponent to do so in AJ Styles, who in the past have had great WrestleMania matches, regardless of storyline. So I think that this is a great way to enter LA Knight into the WrestleMania story. His first WrestleMania. I think AJ has had a great, from what I remember, had a great WrestleMania record. He could afford the loss here, specifically at WrestleMania. I know he's been on a losing streak and booked poorly, but I would have to say LA Knight takes the win here because of the importance it would mean for him in his career. His promo, he's been carrying the storyline too, I would say, in my opinion, because his promo work is amazing. I've always found him great on the mic. The storyline from where he was at the top of the ramp, I think the week before the whole invasion thing, pretty much showed how much he's putting into this and how personal it is for both men to how they built this story. So for me, it's really 50-50. I mean, again, I wouldn't mind who wins it. If AJ wins, I wouldn't be too mad. So it can go either way, and I'm excited to see how this match is going to be booked. I know it's going to be a great match. I know it is. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Brian, man, talk to me. LA Knight, AJ Styles. What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, this one's a close one for me too, man. But I'm leaning LA Knight here, just because kind of what everybody else has mentioned. I mean, AJ is a Hall of Famer now,
right?
Whereas LA Knight, if he after this year, if he takes that L, at WrestleMania, I don't really think he recovers from that. As far as booking wise, or how whatever. I mean, he would have lost so much. So yeah, I think this is going to be for LA Knight, and what better opponent to have AJ Styles, man, because he's going to make you look like $1 million, So yeah, it's going to be a hell of a match. But I think LA Knight goes over here. But there's so many matches here really that have the possibility to steal the show. And this is one of them. So really looking forward to it.
I feel like there's been a lot, even with the home invasion segment, I feel like there's been a lot missing from them in this storyline, or especially since how he's been booked. AJ Styles has not been felt like AJ Styles, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like he feels like a big back burner when he should be one of the top guys on the show.
Oh yeah.
And with him and LA Knight, I feel like I don't think it's a Mania match, but I feel like they wasted a lot of time having the match. I felt like it was like should have been set in place at the Rumble when he attacked LA Knight. He and Knight were completely thrown into the Roman and Orton match when there was two matches right there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, so on to the match at Mania. I think it's going to be a great match. Both are incredible performers, but I think LA Knight deserves this win a bit more.
But let's move on to our next matchup. Our next matchup, we have the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso. Christina, you wanted to talk about this match, so I'm going to let you start this one off. Your thoughts on Jimmy versus Jey Uso? Talk to me. What are your thoughts?
Thank you. So, I mean, this is one of the matches that I'm most looking forward to, just for the simple fact that I've been a fan of the Usos since they started. I remember watching their debut and I'm like, oh, these are Rikishi's sons? Oh, okay. I was intrigued. And then just watching them like transform from the warrior paint to like them being more like themselves in their characters. Right. I loved it. And then I don't know, it like broke my heart when I at the Hell in the Cell I Quit match with Roman and Jay, where Jimmy was coming down to throw in the towel, and then Roman, he does what he does, you know, his cinema, fake tears and everything. Yeah. And then he just gets Jimmy in the guillotine. And then I don't remember how Jay was, but for some reason Jay couldn't get to Jimmy. And, you know, he just quit for his brother, you know? And
yeah.
And then, of course, at, was it SummerSlam when he cost Jay the title again? And then the Intercontinental title again. And then, you know, after SummerSlam, we didn't really have, like, an answer as to why, you know, why did you do this, Jimmy? I mean, he gave some BS answer like, oh, I did this so you wouldn't end up like Roman, so the power wouldn't go to your head. And I'm just like, really? Right. Or are you jealous? Do you want to be the tribal chief?
Right. And that's funny too. It's funny you say that because, like, Brian, you even brought it up. It's just like, didn't they cut a promo saying like, I don't want to be the tribal chief. Hey, Jimmy, do you want to be the tribal chief? And they're like, nope. I'm glad you brought up that match at Hell in a Cell between, it was Roman and Jay. Honestly, when you think back to Roman's title reign, that's honestly going to be one of the matches that I'm going to mostly remember, just how well done it was, at least towards the end, and just how, again, Roman, the facial expressions and just telling everything just speaks for itself when you look at Roman Reigns. And more props as well to the Usos. Everybody did their part in regards to it. And I believe that was during the Thunderdome, by the way, correct? The whole Thunderdome era in regards to it. Yeah. So that's also what's disappointing too about it. That didn't really get in front of a live crowd, but still they made that shit work. And it's honestly, I'd still to this day, one of the best title defenses that Roman Reigns has had since he's held that championship for sure.
Yeah, this is another match that has the possibility to steal the show, man. Just because of the family drama in it, you know. But I think, you know, to what Christina said, with all the times that Jimmy has just taken that moment from Jay or screwed him over, man, Jay's going to beat that ass at WrestleMania, man. It's got to be Jay. It's got to be Jay. You know, there aren't too many matches where, like, I'm, you know, kind of as close to 100% as I can be. It's really just this one and the Bayley match. But, yeah, Jay's got to go over here. But it's going to be an incredible match. Of course, we don't know if any – you know, who knows? I doubt it's going to wind up being just a one-on-one. Somebody from the bloodline is getting involved, which
Solo.
Solo. Throughout the weekend, I expect at least one, if not two, new members kind of to be introduced here within the bloodline. Rikishi, Jacob Fatu. You know, who knows, but something's going to happen here. But yeah, you know, I'm with Christina. As much as, you know, Jay's just had to eat shit for, you know, 4 years, man. He's got to get this Mania moment.
I think it's going to be a great match. I feel like there's going to be a lot of kind of the same stuff that they always do with whether it's the super kicks or the Uso splash or whatever like that. I feel like they took way too long to do this match, not in a way like they waited so long to do the match, but I mean, like, they went all the way from SummerSlam to Mania to do this match when this could have taken only a short amount of time, but they had to prolong it and adding him to the bloodline, which made no sense at all. Especially with the fact that he helped Jay get it out in the first place. They didn't even explain why he wanted to get back in.
Right.
Yeah. They did not.
But as far as prolonging it, though, I think this match has to be at Mania. Like,
absolutely. Their dream.
And and Owen, I'm so glad you brought that up because it's like it's so weird and this is what I can't stand about this fucking company. They just expect you to forget shit. Like freaking how Jimmy Uso just comes back to the bloodline. And it's like he's back and like he never freaking super kicked this
motherfucker
back. How did Roman
forgive him? They didn't even explain it.
It's so odd.
I was expecting him to beat his ass, but he's hugging him.
Yeah,
that's kind of the one big kind of like fumble so far without this whole bloodline story is that
And the
they
biggest
never
one.
really addressed that.
Yeah. I mean, Brian, you said it yourself too. It's just like up until that point, that was like the one and only like what the fuck is going on here when it comes to the storyline because of how well it was portrayed, and then that whole turn happened. It's just like, okay, that just seems very odd.
Yeah.
So
this is going to be one of the matches that's going to have to tell the story in the ring. And the reason why I say that, because they made Jay this amazing star, and they made Jimmy the lackey the whole time.
Exactly.
Right.
So, like, what? Like, I don't think Jimmy had a match like that I remember or any of that. So it's I'm kind of like, the buildup is kind of cool, but I don't believe in Jimmy because Jimmy haven't really showcased any matches on TV to where I'm like,
he's just a stepping stone to get to like for people like Cody and people like Seth, and pretty much.
I'm like, oh well, you know what I mean? Like if WWE did something like that, then I could be like, oh why? But I know they're gonna put on a great performance. But this is one of the matches that it needs no interference at all.
I would actually prefer that, really, like one-on-one brother. I just don't think it's going to happen, though. And
it's going to suck if it don't, because this is where I need to see Jimmy perform.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they need to come up with a finisher for Jay, because that spear is ugly.
Oh my god! Don't get me fucking started.
Oh my god, that spear is ugly. And look, I'm a huge Jay fan. I'm with the whole hands in the air and all that. Nah, that spear ugly. It gotta go. It gotta go.
It's just like, bro, the spear. Like, why? Like, does everybody? It feels like everybody just does a spear now. It's just so fucking. Ricky Starks over in AEW does a fucking spear. It's just like, what are we doing? Bro? The super kick has no freaking prestige anymore. Like, freaking listen, both the Usos and the Young Bucks. Like, we just do super kicks. We do all these freaking power moves, and like,
what's the look? All right, in this match, what's the over under? What's the over under in amount of super kicks that are going to happen?
Mine, like,
fuck that.
Make a bet.
Like, I'm talking 50, 100.
No need to count.
I'm going to say at least. I mean, I guess it depends on how long the match goes, but. Oh man, it's gonna be.
Oh my god, I didn't even think.
I
of
don't
that
even
first.
know.
I say like 40, 50.
40, 50, bro. It's gonna be a lot of super kicks.
It's gonna be super kick mania.
Yeah, right.
For real.
Super kicks, Uso splashes, right? All of that freaking crap, man.
But still, they're gonna knock it out of the park with the story they tell, the animosity and the sibling rivalry that comes out during this match. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, so regardless of how the story has been, I think, like what everyone has said so far, the match is going to be amazing in itself and going to tell us what we need to hear or see from the story, even if you haven't been following it. In terms of who should win it, I feel like it has to be Jay. Mainly because, like you said, Shane, like, what have we seen from Jimmy? Like, solo-wise, by himself? Nothing. So we can't really say, oh, Jimmy needs to win this, unless they are trying to build him up solo by himself, which they should have done a while back from when he first started going by himself. I don't think it should have started now. Jay has been working very, very hard to get everyone over as a solo competitor, and he's done and exceeded that so perfectly. Every time he goes out, what he does with the crowd and the audience, he hypes everyone up. He was labeled as main event Jey Uso from the start, and he definitely gave us a reason why. So if anything, he deserves the win and come out on top. And I feel like if they give it to Jimmy, I feel like it's only going to extend the story a little bit.
Exactly.
Which I feel like it should end and then go their separate ways. So I don't think it'll be the smartest decision. Again, it's going to be from bell to bell, great match. But I do think it has to be Jay. The only way I see Jimmy winning is if Solo does get involved and he wins
That'll-
because of the distraction.
That'll be the swerve, to be honest.
Yeah.
If
Right.
Jimmy was to win.
Yeah.
That'll be the swerve. Because
Yeah.
I don't, again, who believes in Jimmy going to win when Jay is built?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who's believing in that? Like, no.
Absolutely. No, it's no great points from around the table here. Yeah, I think we can all agree that like it's most likely going to be Jay that takes the W here, and that's going to continue to prolong him with this single run. I don't know, who knows of how long this lasts. I would love to see down the road again that those two brothers as a tag team again. I just feel like those two are just best suited as a team. As good as Jay has done since he's been in a solo act, like his best work will always be with his brother Jimmy, regardless. So who knows and how maybe Rikishi gets involved. Solo's definitely getting involed. For sure. I think that's a freaking no-brainer. Shane, I know, Shane. I know.
No.
I know, man. I know. I hear
God,
you.
no.
But I would think this would be a perfect moment. Even, I mean, Solo gets involved. I mean, look, all three of the sons are there. That's a perfect freaking moment for Rikishi. I mean, what better opportunity are you going to have than have Rikishi come out there?
For sure.
True.
Maybe Rikishi stops Solo. Like, hey, let you brothers fight it out.
You know, yeah.
Comes out with Too Cool and starts dancing.
Yeah.
Or
he talks with Solo and it's like, hey, like leave this between the both of these two. Like they need to settle.
I hope
this,
so.
Like, one-on-one.
Please.
No, I think
if
Rikishi, I think he will do that. Yes, but I also think if Rikishi comes out there, he's laying one of them out, either Solo or Jimmy. You know, I think he's gonna. It's not gonna just. It's got to be something bigger than just like, hey, let me talk to you. Yeah. It's gonna have to end in a moment like an holy shit moment. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Lay down Solo, please. Please lay down Solo.
Out of everything the Bloodline has done from the start, even if it was Jimmy and Jay, felt like, as I think one of you said, cinema. Something's gonna happen in this match that's gonna draw the audience in and be like, okay, now what's gonna happen? Something's happening. We don't know when it's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen, but something's gonna draw us in. Can someone attack somebody? Will Rikishi come out and like say something in the middle of the ring, like y'all shouldn't fight like this? You know, they both super kick him. They continue to fight. You know,
or they take out Rikishi. That's a yeah.
I think that'd be a good thing. Like he goes to the ring.
Great takes from everybody. Great takes from everybody with that. So let's move on to the United States Championship. We got Randall Keith Orton. We have your champion, that's Logan Paul, and we have Kevin Owens. So Logan Paul, I know, Brian, you've stated many times that you're just not a fan of freaking Logan Paul, and I hear you because, you know, he's a social media influencer and he's part of everybody's, like, the new fan base today. Everybody knows who Logan Paul is, right? But hey, kudos where kudos is due with Logan Paul.
Eyeballs.
He has done tremendous with this, right? You know, he of course WWE loves him because he brings, you know, with marketing, bringing in new fans with Prime, right? Freaking marketing the shit out of that. So Logan Paul has, dare I say, has made this championship somewhat important, you know, going to UFC events and everything, right? And all that stuff. And it was evident that he was going to walk into this pay-per-view as champion. And with Kevin Owens, you know, we talked about, you know, me and you, Brian, about the pay-per-view that happened with Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. And you knew that was going to be drawn out, but we didn't think it was going to be at Mania. Maybe we thought it was going to settle in Australia, the Elimination Chamber, but they decided to throw them into the chamber. And now you have Randy Orton that's involved into this. Now, I would have just loved Orton and Logan Paul one-on-one, honestly. But like I mentioned earlier, they want to put Randy Orton in these multi-man matches to protect him because of his previous injury history. That's just what it is. Kevin Owens, and I get why he's also in there. I mean, you have to put Kevin Owens on the card somewhere, and this is the only option or the only route you can go for Kevin Owens in regards to it. It's just that I feel like it's just more of the animosity right now is between Orton and Logan because of what happened at Elimination Chamber. And it's kind of the steam has taken off of KO. And now you're seeing this weird buddy, freaking Randy Orton and Kevin Owens spiel now. They're gonna face Pretty Deadly. I don't know what the fuck that's gonna do tonight, as SmackDown's tonight. I called that shit, by the way. I saw the segment last week. I'm like, Randy Orton's gonna show up and there's gonna be a tag match, and I said I fucking knew it. So I don't know, man. In regards to, listen, I think everybody's gonna do their part in regards to the match. Who wins this match, man? I mean, Randy Orton doesn't need a mid-card title. Neither does Kevin Owens, man. So dare I say, does Logan Paul defend this championship and keep, holding on to this title? So, but I'd love to get your thoughts into it. I'm going to start off with Owen. Owen, man, your thoughts in regards to this triple threat for the United States title.
I really do not know who's going to win this match. I think they're either going to give it to Orton or Kevin. I feel like they could have done a better job at building this up, and especially by throwing Kevin in there basically who really doesn't have anything to do with Logan screwing Orton over for the world title shot. So and with this team with Orton and Kevin, we all know it's going to end up either with a stunner or an RKO at the end.
For sure.
We all know. So I think Orton is going to win. I don't really know. I think Logan should retain, but I think Orton is going to win.
Interesting. It could happen in regards because now there's been complaints about there's 2 part-time champions on SmackDown, so Orton would be that champion to have on SmackDown because listen, I know we're going to get into it later, but a tribal chief is going to still hold on to that freaking championship. So that's all I'm going to say. Christina knows. She freaking knows, right?
So I'm going to say Randy Orton, because I'm a big Randy Orton guy. And I do agree with what you said, James, before, where you said, does he really need a mid-card championship? Not really.
No.
But regardless, I would be happy that he has a title. This match is also going to, I'm going to say this for every single match, but a lot of these matches are going to be blown out the park. Logan Paul, you can talk all the smack you want about Logan Paul, but every time he gets into the ring, he always delivers. There's always something from his matches that everyone's going to talk about on social media.
Yep.
At first, it was getting stunned in the ring by Kevin Owens, I think 3 years ago. It was having his first match. It was that table spot from the Roman match, the last year's Mania with Seth Rollins, and that table spot with KSI. Every time he's in the ring, there's trending. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same exact thing with this triple threat. There's going to be a lot of moments in that match that people are going to talk about and sort of start trending. Logan Paul, I wouldn't mind if he retained it. It really is Orton versus Logan. I wouldn't be surprised if something happens where Kevin Owens accidentally screws one of them over. Where Logan, where Randy has he was this close of winning it. But Kevin kind of interfered in a way to lead up to a feud between them two. But in terms of where I want him, I'm going to say Randy because it'll be cool to see him with a championship again, regardless of mid-carder or, because we know that Roman's going to hold that title for as long as probably they want him to. So yeah, forever. Yeah. So it will be. I think they're just using that to give him a title, and I wouldn't be mad at it. Does he need it? No, but I wouldn't mind it if he did win it, and give him a lengthy reign with it, defend it as much as he can.
Right.
It's his last. Who knows when he'll be done? And I know his back injury was pretty serious, so just give him the chance to hold it one more time. Maybe you don't have Logan Paul take the pin, so that way Logan's still going on strong. So I wouldn't mind if Randy holds it.
Yeah, so my heart wants Randy to win because I'm just so happy that he's back. I literally cried when his music hit at Survivor Series. We didn't know we were gonna get him back. Yeah. But I think Kevin's gonna take it because he was really close when it was 1-on-1 with Logan. And I feel like that's the way they're gonna go. They're gonna give it to Kevin. And I mean, I don't like Logan Paul the person, but damn, he's good. He's good at what he's doing right now.
Absolutely.
He knows what he's doing in the ring. He's very athletic. I mean, he has the body, the look. He knows how to market the title. Everywhere you see him, you see the title. So he's getting more eyes. His fans are like, "Oh, what is he holding? A title? Oh, what is this?" So I hate to say it, but he knows what he's doing.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a businessman at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows what he's doing for sure.
Yeah, so far I'm with Owen, Nick, and Christina, where I think and I hope Orton's walking out with the title. My only question is I think even to why maybe possibly Owens was added to this match is Orton does have real life injuries, and do they think he can actually, carry that title and perform that schedule and do all that? So that's my only kind of drawback to it is that. But man, I'd love to see him win it. And I mean, I don't think he needs it. And Logan Paul has brought it back to somewhat prominence, and it's got some eyeballs on it. And I don't think this could be a long title run for Orton, but it might be one of those things where, like, look, maybe he can't, or again, Roman's he's not going to be in that title picture, maybe ever again in his career. So, why not, give him some, little runs here and there, whatever. But I think Logan Paul is definitely walking out here, and I just hope that, I mean, I get it, the money and the whatever and the eyeballs, but like I don't want WWE to protect him that much. Let him take the pinfall on this one, because I don't want to see Orton pin KO either, or whatever. Like they need to pin Logan Paul, but I don't know if they'll do that.
Yeah. Probably not. My guess is probably not, honestly. But
I think Logan Paul gonna walk away with it. I don't see Randy winning it. Does he need to? No, I don't see. I see Kevin Owens taking the pin because he's obviously
I was going to say, it's sorry to cut you off, but it's funny you mentioned that. Like, Kevin Owens seems like, to me, the guy, if Logan were to win, Kevin Owens is taking the pinfall. I don't think Randy Orton is going to take the pinfall, and it's either going to be Logan or it's going to be KO, and I think most likely it's going to be KO. But continue.
Yeah, it's going to be KO. I think they're going to let Logan Paul hold the belt until SummerSlam because he is from Cleveland.
Right.
So,
SummerSlam.
And walking into SummerSlam as U.S. champ will make sense.
God damn it.
I'm changing my answer now.
Take everything
exactly.
Yeah.
Hope you guys like Prime.
But if Randy does win,
I do actually.
If Randy does win, then I would like to see Logan Paul as the chaser. Maybe he wins it back in his hometown. So, I mean, either way, but I think Logan Paul is walking with the W.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to this next matchup. We have the IC title. We have Gunther, your champion, versus Sami Zayn. Shane, this was the match that you picked. So you will start this conversation off, man. Your thoughts about Gunther versus Sami Zayn for this IC title, bro?
Before I get into the match, I still think today, and I said this on my podcast previously, that it was Chad Gable's moment.
100%.
What nobody say. It was Chad Gable's moment, and he took it away.
100%.
But I mean, I believe the match itself, the build-up was decent. I really would like to see what they do after Mania with Chad and Sammy. But for the match itself, though, I mean, it's going to be a banger. And these are one of the matches that's actually going to tell a story in the ring. I am a huge fan of Gunther, and I love Sami Zayn, but I still think it was Chad Gable's moment. But I think the match itself is just going to be a banger. I see them really telling that story more in the ring than the build up to it. So that's really my opinion on it.
I have definitely a wild take on this one.
Oh, let's hear it, man.
It's definitely something like that people are not going to be a fan of. But it was just something that came to my mind. I think that the reason why Chad Gable is not put into this match was because I think he's going to turn heel. And I think he might turn and join Imperium.
What?
It's kind of like if you can't beat them, join them type situation.
Yeah.
He had multiple times where like he couldn't beat Gunther, might as well join him, leave Alpha Academy behind. Seems like the others are doing stuff on their own anyways. So maybe that's what the plan is. Chad Gable costs Sammy the match, and then Gunther retains, and you still have a new Imperium and new and improved Imperium. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think Gunther's retaining regardless of what, if there's no interference or there's interference. The match is going to be insane. Every Gunther match, it gets better and better as time goes on. So, especially at a big stage like WrestleMania, this match is going to be amazing. I don't know if it's going to top last year's WrestleMania, but it'll definitely be a great match between the two.
Right. Interesting. I'm gonna say something about that, Nick. I love the hot take though. I do love it. I'm gonna save my thoughts later on.
I feel like Gable should have definitely won this, and I like that they're aiming towards possibly turning him heel with on Sammy. I think Sammy's match with Gunther is gonna be a really good match. Yeah. I cannot see Sammy winning at all, and so I think Gunther's winning this. And I think if they turn, the main reason why I would love to see Gable turn heel because I can't see the Alpha Academy anymore. I really can't. It's like it should be. It's a good faction, like it's a good corny faction, but not for Gable.
Yeah, well, Nick just blew my mind a little bit. I mean,
I'm gonna say I got something to say about that. But
well, James, you and I on one of our recent podcasts, like, I mean, we think Gable, it's probably best to turn him heel now at this point.
Right.
But I mean, if they did a shtick where like he cost Sammy the title. Because my take going into it is that Gunther's ready to move on to the main event picture. So, I feel like Sammy's going to win this, and it's going to be one of those like I don't know. It's going to be a hell of a match, but I think Gunther's ready to move on.
Yeah.
But if he cost Sammy the match, and then because that would make him Never mind. I'm not going to go with that theory. But anyway, I do think it's time for Gable to turn heel and go some different route. So, while I don't think he might would join Imperium, I think that's probably the first feud coming out of there is Sammy and Gable for the IC title.
I agree with Brian. Like, I think Gunther he's beat everybody that he can beat for the IC title. I think he's ready for the world title picture. Right. But I don't know that Sammy is the one to take it from him, though.
That's debatable. No, it's debatable.
Absolutely. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, they kind of like you said with LA Knight. I mean, Sammy just last year was in the world title picture, and then now he was on a losing streak, and then he won a couple matches, and he lost again on Raw.
Thank you.
So I don't know that Sammy's the one, and I feel like maybe they might keep him because aren't they going to like Germany or something in the summer?
Yes, Bastion Berlin in September or in August. In August,
yeah, they might keep him. I think Gunther might keep it till then, but I do agree that Gunther, it's time to move on.
No, 100%. These are all great takes. I love it. I absolutely love it. So let me say this. I'll try to make this as short as sweet as possible. Look, going into this, I feel like Sami Zayn should win this title because with Gunther, like, it's time. If he's not dropping it at Mania, like, when is he going to drop this title? He's hold this title for hundreds upon hundreds of days, and he's going to drop it at a fucking backlash, a freaking Money in the Bank. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, we built up this entire title reign to not have it end at WrestleMania. It's just very odd. So, Nick, I'm going to get to your take real quick here. I like the hot take, and there's definitely an argument about Chad Gable possibly turning heel because it's possible. Yeah. Him being a part of Imperium, I don't know if I have two takes with this. The first one is that I don't like Chad Gable being just a member of a faction. I don't like that at all. Yeah. Chad Gable needs to be either the solo act on his own or, again, with Alpha Academy, he's pretty much, the guy of the group. for him to just be a member of the faction, I'm not with that. However, I don't know if you guys remember the whole Daniel Bryan Wyatt family shtick.
Yep.
When
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan decided to join the Wyatt family just to defeat them with, in order to defeat this group, you got to defeat it within. That could maybe be something you can do with Chad Gable, to where you have him turn, but the goal is to try to defeat this faction within, right? And plus, there's been this friction, I guess you can say, with Ludwig Kaiser and Vinci and Imperium in general. So, Gunther's like, okay, well, shoot, Chad Gable wants to join my group. All right, let me kick you to the curb because you've been a freaking jobber, because they have. So yeah, and you let freaking Chad Gable in, no pun intended to Bray, but you let Chad Gable into this group, and you do something like a Daniel Bryan Wyatt family, to where he takes down Gunther and his faction from within. I think you can do something like that if you're going to have him join Imperium. Because if you're just having him join the group just to join the group, I'm not with that. Because Chad Gable's more than that. He's more than just a member of a faction. Exactly.
Yeah, if you're gonna have him go through, you have to follow it through to that end where Gable, eliminates the entirety of Imperium.
I got a take on that. But do that story works with Gunther dropping the title?
That's the thing. No, it doesn't work without Gunther dropping the title. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the whole point will be for Chad to be,
because that's why, Shane,
Gunther,
is that if Gunther were to retain the championship, that's a way you can do it for Chad Gable to cost Sami Zayn the title and to join Imperium, but it's to take down Gunther within, and then Chad Gable, he gets his one-on-one match, and you use that momentum, that turn, to evolve that story between those two, and then boom, you have Chad Gable win the IC title. But again, if it's not at WrestleMania, where does Gunther drop this championship? That's the unfortunate situation here. But I hear where everybody's coming from, people like Shane and everybody, that it should have been Chad Gable, and I get it, but Chad Gable, I just don't believe that this company is that high on Chad Gable. I mean, their actions have just proven to me that they're just not high on this dude. And he just hasn't been booked ever since he lost the first time to Gunther. He's pretty much been, like Owen said, he's pretty much just been an afterthought in this freaking.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. So let's move on to one of the ladies' matches. All right, the first ladies' match, we got Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the women's world title. The build of this match has been freaking horrible. I mean, it's been awful. However, I was like, fingers crossed. I was hoping. I'm like, listen, if they're gonna try to sell me on this matchup, it has to be right now. And it was that freaking Monday Night Raw in Chicago. And these ladies did a tremendous job in that segment, man. I mean, how personal it got, the substance. It wasn't just empty words thrown at each other, right? And there's real animosity. Rhea Ripley bringing up Becky Lynch's daughter. So at least, it was much needed segment, right? But outside of that, there really hasn't really been much. And the question is with Rhea, because there's a potential that Rhea can turn babyface, right? Could she still hold on to this title? Because if she's going to be babyface, why drop the title? But if she's still going to be heel, then drop the title to Becky. But me and Brian, we've spoken about it. Does Becky Lynch also really need this championship? But that's something that WWE would do to give her another accolade, right? You saw it with the Elimination Chamber, right? This first time being in the chamber, she freaking won it. She was Becky 2 belts at WrestleMania, right? Freaking all of these accolades. You're starting to see all these accolades build up. And it wouldn't shock me that another accolade is beating Rhea Ripley, who's held on to this title now for quite some time. I like Rhea a lot. It's unfortunate that this title reign has just really hasn't done much for a lot of people in regards to what she's been doing. And just ever since she won it, she had a great match with Charlotte Flair when she won it. And then after that, just nothing at all.
It took a while to get off. It took a while to. Sorry, I didn't interrupt. But
go ahead.
Get off, and just it took a while to get off, and then just eventually there was a point. I would say midway to where it really started, feeling important.
Yeah.
For her. So I guess they just made it hold on to it for a while for nothing, and then it's like they could have done that from the start. But
right. Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think when it comes to the winner of this match, and I'll get to everybody here, I think it honestly depends on with this turn coming up with the Judgment Day, because it's coming. You're hearing Rhea Ripley getting cheered more and more and more now. it's evident that, at some point you would think that this company is going to turn her face. But is Becky the only believable option to defeat Rhea Ripley? Because as much as I love Liv, because I would have loved Liv in this situation, but how believable is Liv Morgan to dethrone freaking Rhea Ripley, right? It's just not. As much as I like Liv, and I think Liv is honestly a good talent than what people give her credit for. But
man, we've spoken about this a lot in our podcast too, and I've been all over the place with this one because, man, at this point, this is probably the most 50-50 toss-up that I just have no idea what the outcome is going to be. Like you said, at one point we thought it could be a triple threat or a fatal four-way. It's obvious Rhea has to turn face at some point here in the near future. And I thought it was kind of, for a while there, obviously looking like Becky was going to turn heel, but then with the interaction last Friday or last Monday, it doesn't really make sense for Becky to turn heel now after she, the whole promo was attacking her motherhood and her, how are you going to turn her heel after that one?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I even think I hear you, James, with the, why would you have Rhea lose? But if she is going to turn face, the money for the face or for the wrestling is always in the chase for them to get back to the title. So that, and I agree that Becky doesn't need it, which is why I would have preferred something else going on here. But man, really, I don't know who's coming out of here winning the match.
My gut's telling me it's Becky. I don't know.
My gut is telling me it's Becky too. Yeah, I feel you, Shane. I feel you because I don't want to see that at all. But I don't know.
I hear you, but that's just my gut feeling as of right now. That listen, and again, it depends on the split with the Judgment Day, but I guess we'll find out sooner or later. Shane, like you're already heated, so you seem like there's a lot it seems like you want to say. So I'm going to send this off to you, bro. What are your thoughts? Let it out. Talk to me. Come on.
First of all, they've been teasing this match for God knows how long.
They have. Yeah.
Like, what was the point of the Elimination Chamber when you had that convention or whatever it was?
Oh,
where
the
they
press
was
conference.
The press conference. When they was already like face to face. Like, God forbid, like what in the world? Like you just threw it in our face already.
Yeah.
What was the point? The build-up has been totally ass until Monday. It's been ass. I mean, straight doo-doo garbage. I don't even care about Monday. If it didn't get me hyped in the beginning, it's not going to get me hyped now.
Yeah.
It hasn't. Is Becky going to win it? I mean, her contract is about to expire, so I mean, hey,
he ain't going nowhere.
That's still questionable.
No,
I know.
Nowhere.
So if Becky wins, we already know.
It wouldn't shock me if they're already talking about an extension already. So she's not going anywhere, dude.
I just think that it's just not a match that I'm just like, No,
I hear you.
I don't really care. Like,
I don't.
I might be in the bathroom or something by the time that match on.
It's a bathroom.
I really don't. Yeah. Like, I mean, if Rhea win, I'll probably be like, oh yeah, Beck. You know what I mean?
You heard it here first, guys. The bathroom break match is going to be Becky versus Rhea Ripley. You heard it here first.
Yeah, the bill has been come on. The bill has been ass.
It's
to the point where
I agree. Yeah,
I'd rather see Trick and Mello in that spot than
100%.
Shout out to those two and over in NXT
like,
for sure,
man.
I feel you.
Overall, man, Rhea Ripley's entire the build to her winning the title, and that was freaking awesome. But
exactly.
Yeah,
and then after that, it's been absolutely nothing. Nothing. Name me one Rhea match that everybody's gonna be like, oh wow, it was hot. Done.
There's no match against Charlotte Flair when she won it. That was it.
Yeah, she won
exactly.
So much
better.
better.
That
exactly.
was it, man.
Well, I mean, I'm probably as torn in this match as I am in the Usos match because Rhea and Becky are my top two favorite women superstars.
Nice.
So either way,
Love
I win.
Love it.
No,
Love
but
it.
I know Becky doesn't need another title, But I didn't realize that it's been like 2 years since she's been in the actual like main roster women's title picture.
Yeah.
I know she won the NXT title not too long ago, and you know she really elevated it a lot. She took it to Raw. She took it to you know, she had open challenges every week. But yeah,
I can respect that.
I can't.
Okay.
Oh man.
But yeah, as far as who's gonna win, I think it's gonna be Becky. I mean, they usually always give it to Becky.
They
call her Big Time Bex for a reason.
No, man, no.
Then just the household changes, so now Becky's the champ and Rollins is losing. So at least there's still a title in the household.
Right?
No,
because Rollins is gonna lose, so one of them have to have a title.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my
It's
goodness,
not 2019 where they were both champions.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
So that
god.
picture that they put in a book.
Oh yes. Oh my goodness. By the way, like why? Like I see people do that a lot. By the way, I hate to change topics here. Like, what is up with these wrestlers and like putting these fucking titles around their "How you doing" or whatever? Like it's so weird. Like,
You gotta give it up,
I don't know if you guys saw Up Up Down Down, right? You see like Up Up Down Down, like the freaking the YouTube channel that Xavier Wood had. There was a clip of like Becky showing like the picture in the book, and there's like Bianca and like Cody's face and Ciampa's face. They're like, what is this? Like, what is wrong with you? like it's so weird. I'm about to win this championship, and now I got to scrub it with freaking all this freaking soap and shit.
Lysol.
It's kind of taken on a life
weird.
of like, listen. It, in all honesty, it probably started back at like. Look, Shawn Michaels plays.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
And then it's also kind of taken on this aura of like the Stanley Cup kind of where you do weird, odd shit with it. You know?
Yeah. Like Mandy
but the
Rose
Shawn
did
Michaels one was a photo shoot. That was just
that's right.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah. So if you would have asked me like last weekend, I would have said it was kind of like 50-50, similar to what I said to AJ Styles and LA Knight. But because of Becky, what the reports are saying that she has about like 2 months left on her contract, who knows? I'm not saying she's not going to re-sign. I'm just going to think that she's probably going to take time off. She is a mom too. She probably she brings her daughter everywhere.
I think Seth is taking time off too. I mean, new parents.
Exactly. So they're probably gonna take time off to take care of the baby, spend more family time together. So if they're gonna have her win, why win it? Then hold it for 2 months. Then what? You know?
Right.
So I don't think it would have made sense. So logically, it'll probably make more sense to have Rhea retain, and keep it going for a little bit longer. But you have to drop. She's like someone who doesn't need to drop it at Mania. She could drop it at any point, and I'll be fine with it. It doesn't have to happen that soon. It's
not like a Gunther or Roman situation with like hundreds upon hundreds. You know what I mean? Yeah. So no, absolutely for sure.
So if she could retain it on WrestleMania, then hold it for a little bit longer, I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna complain and say she needs to lose it. So I'm gonna say Rhea. The storyline could have been better. Wasn't really into it. Could have easily just like if it were like 2K24, I would have been like skip to WrestleMania and then just have the match.
For real.
So like it's good. It's definitely gonna be a banger of a match. I feel like their Mania matches have been really good as of late, both Becky and Rhea. It's definitely gonna be a great match. Definitely, the story's gonna take place mainly in the ring. So I'm looking forward to it. So
nice.
And I got Rhea winning.
I really don't know what I think about this match. I don't really care about it, to be honest with you. They haven't done a good job building this up. I think Rhea is way more of Dominic's girlfriend than a world champion. And I feel like Becky desperately needs a character change as well. It's just like Seth, which I'm going to get to in a little while. They go out and she cuts the same promo as since Mania 35, to be honest with you. her character's just stale. And I just feel like I really don't know who's going to win this, and I'm honestly cool with whoever.
Becky be killing me with these promos because then she'll swear like she said something hard, and she'll slam the mic down like, no, you didn't say nothing.
Man, Shane,
Like, what?
dude, I'm
That's
with
the
you,
thing,
man.
yeah.
It's like, it's that, she thinks she said something like,
Yeah, you didn't say nothing.
Bro, like
Like,
all these
what?
people, they say empty words. Like at least like this past Monday, like there was substance and everything, right? But like outside of that, like majority, it's not even just Becky. It's a lot of these promos. Like it's just like they say a bunch of words. It's just like, hey, Creator 912, what do you have for Becky and Rhea? Say words. What do you have for Drew and Seth Rollins? Say words. Yeah, say words.
What?
Yeah.
Fucking Christ, man. So yeah, no, listen, I agree with everybody, man, when it comes to this build. It's been very, very weak. And it sucks for Rhea because Rhea's she's busted her ass to get to this point to be the top female star in this industry. So who freaking knows, man? And yeah, Becky, when it comes to Becky, man, yeah, it's just like, I'm not a fan of Becky, but I don't hate Becky at all. I don't hate any wrestler at all, to be quite honest with you in regards to it. But yeah, Becky, it's just, I can see like people thinking that it's stale and there needs to be a change and everything. I thought her heel character was tremendous, by the way, when she was a freaking heel, like, and people wanted to just go back to this man character. I'm like, why? Right. She was doing tremendously fine as a fucking heel, and then they turn her face. It's like the man character hasn't been the same since the whole broken nose situation when Nia Jax broke her fucking nose.
It has not.
It really hasn't. It's just
and then they try to relive it.
Right, right, and they're trying to relive and catch lightning in a bottle again. I can hear where people are coming from in regards to it. So, who knows, man? Listen, again, these ladies, I think will.
Mania 35 was horrible.
Oh yeah.
Or at least
my goodness.
It was botched. It was messy. They added Charlotte in for no reason.
Let's get into our next matchup, shall we? Let's talk about another ladies matchup. This is Iyo Sky versus Bayley. Brian, this is a match that you choose to talk about, so I'll let you start the floor. Your thoughts, Iyo Sky versus Bayley for the women's title.
Man, I'm always a fan of long-term storytelling, and this has been one of, outside of the bloodline, this has gone on since SummerSlam 2022, where this is probably, I don't remember a time in history where men or women really, where you had three returning stars, right? Bayley, Iyo, and Dakota Kai, all come out, return, and form a faction. And I think 20 years from now, 30 years from now, people look back on it much bigger than I think it is currently now. But I thought that was an awesome moment, and what they've done since, the feuds with Bianca, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka at the beginning, and now you come for full circle. Well, Asuka's actually in Damage Control, and Bianca's on the other side of it now, helping Bayley. The whole thing with helping Iyo win the Money in the Bank and then ultimately cash that in, and now Io's been champion, and just this whole storytelling that they've it hasn't been, they haven't knocked it out of the park in the way that like the bloodline is, but this has been a very, very good, consistent story. And man, the 2024 is the year for Bayley to get her flowers, man. Like this woman she's due. She is freaking due. She has just been a staple of that women's division. And like I've said many times, like when you talk about the four horsewomen, Sasha and Bayley are at the top of that for me. So yeah, I think she's winning this match. It'll be interesting to see if this is a spot where Jade comes out and gets involved, as the fourth person to even up the odds. So I don't know, man, but it's I think Bayley's definitely coming out the winner, and I'm just looking forward to her run. So
absolutely,
really, really looking forward to this match. And Christina, I think it was you earlier, like this match deserves to be main event. It's not going to be, at the very least, this has got to open
up the show.
Yeah. If it doesn't close, it needs to open.
Open up the show.
100%.
I swear to God, if this is in the middle of the fucking pay-per-view, I'm gonna lose my shit. Seriously, like for real, man.
Well, I've got Bayley winning because I'm just sick of Iyo with the title. she's done nothing. I saw a post on Twitter earlier that said she's been the champion for like 237 days, and I'm like, the last time I remember her even defending it was like in December.
I think she won it at SummerSlam. Yeah, SummerSlam. She won Money in the Bank.
She won the briefcase and she cashed it in at SummerSlam. Correct.
Yeah. And I'm just like, what has she done? She's had like no memorable feuds. I mean, all of her matches has just been like the last one I think was with Michim. Like just because Michim pinned her in a like multi-woman match, she got a title match. Like there was no feud, no nothing. So and then I noticed like like with Bayley's new shirt, how it's tie-dye. They're getting her back into her side ponytail, Bayley.
It can't be Hugger Bayley. It can't be
not Huggy.
It can't be that.
I know. I love heel Bayley. I love heel Bayley, but
the fan got to be front row. That fan that could cry.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully Bayley wins and Iyo just. We don't need her as a champion anymore.
No, I feel you with Iyo too, and even with Rhea, it's like what are you doing? Like
that's the booking of this women's division,
right?
bro.
Like,
it's fucking horrible.
They deserve so much better, and this could have been so much better. And you're right, you can't think of a single feud or whatever for either of these women that and it's bullshit.
Absolutely.
I got Bayley winning this. I know people can make the case. I've seen the case that on social media that like I know Bayley. She said that the reason for creating Damage Control was to put over the other two, so it wouldn't make sense to put over these two and then come out on top and then claim yourself the victor when the whole point was to put over the other two. But I think with the story and with the match, I think that match itself will definitely put over Iyo. And this whole group, the new version of Damage Control would definitely get them over, regardless of if Bayley wins or not. So I think it'll make sense to give it to Bayley, give the flowers that she deserved for a long time. She took loss after loss after loss when Bianca was champion. It was time to give her a win now. She won the Royal Rumble. The momentum seems to be picking up for her, so it'll be dumb not to give her the win and to capitalize on that. So I would say they have to give it to Bayley. I would drive to Philly and I would riot outside of. I would go to Connecticut. I'd go to Connecticut and riot outside the offices. You know what I mean?
I feel you, brother.
Yeah, I'd be right there with you.
Yeah, I'll pick up everyone on the way. Let's go
for sure.
Look, I respect everybody's opinion. But God damn it, this buildup has been pure shit. It's been pure garbage. Let's be real. When Bayley won the Royal Rumble, they treated this as a second to nothing, afterthought. And not to put the blame on The Rock, but a couple SmackDowns where the women couldn't even get a build-up because The Rock held the show for about 40, 50 fucking minutes. And they treated Bayley as like she's not a Royal Rumble winner. Like, hello, she is the Royal Rumble winner. Like, why is she not getting this spotlight here?
Yeah. No.
And I just feel like they treated it like, oh, Bayley just won. Let's just give her the Royal Rumble because she took losses and she really put over that women's division. Let's be honest for a second.
For a long time and many times she has. She's carried it. Yep.
Yeah.
They making Iyo. This is your women's champion, and you make her look like nothing. She's not a believable champion.
No
Bro,
way.
She lost to fucking Meechin, dude, in the on a fucking SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Like,
I
exactly.
got so much backlash from that. I made a TikTok about that, and people are like, oh, like champions can take losses. No, they fucking can't. Not in the middle of a fucking SmackDown.
They shouldn't be, yeah.
That's
why it's still so important that Jay has actually pinned Roman.
Here's my thing with this. I didn't mind if she took the loss if she looked it like a champion in the beginning. I wouldn't care about it.
No, her title reign
dominated she dominated as champion. All right, she took that loss. Cool. It's a hiccup. Run it back. I'm fine with that. But god damn it, y'all didn't book her to be like nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, it's funny. Real quick before I get to Owen, it's funny you say that, Shane, because it seems like just for Iyo's title reign, it's kind of like they've dragged this along just to get to this turn because they've teased this Bayley turn for a while now. And Brian, I said it to you. It's just like we keep doing all these teases. It's like, when do we pick this up here? And all of a sudden, in the snap of a finger, we just did the little evolution freaking scene, right? When Bayley's like, oh, she's overhearing what Iyo Sky and everyone else is saying, like behind the closed doors. Right. And all of a sudden, like the turn happens and we get the match. I'm like, whoa, like that was really, everything just happened so fast. And it was not a whole lot to sink in, if that makes sense. So yeah, no, Shane, I completely hear you 100%. It definitely doesn't help with Iyo Sky, and because Iyo Sky is tremendous, and it sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
This title, like, because she's just, but like you're praising Rhea Ripley to the high heavens, and then you have this other champion on SmackDown that's just like, oh, that's right, she's holding on to a fucking championship.
The build-up's been awful. It's been what I expected it to be. They made Dakota Kai go in and try to be allies with Bayley, and we all knew she was full of shit. And then right. And then Bayley has to win this match. Iyo has been an awful champion. Not her fault. She's not even the leader of her own faction. She finally is, but they should have done this turn a long time ago when Bayley pushed Iyo off the ladder at Money in the Bank, if I remember correctly, or especially when Iyo won. I feel like this should have been Bayley turning on Iyo out of jealousy and not them turning on Bayley. Like there's not a need for Bayley to be a babyface against these guys. If anything, she was the one holding them back from anything.
Yeah.
Right.
No, for sure.
That period there, yeah.
Yeah. No, because Bayley's been a tremendous freaking heel. I love the little videos on social media.
A great heel.
She interacts with fans and ripping signs and calling people idiots. It's freaking great. And I don't know why. And I don't know. This came off the top of my head. I don't know if it has anything to do with Charlotte Flair and her injury, and they need babyface star power right now. That's why you're hearing rumblings about Jade Cargill potentially being involved in this whole shit in regards to it. Shane, listen, and you want to know why though, Shane? Listen, I hear you, but this is another reason why, and I don't know, it's been really weird what they're doing with Jade, but the thing is with Jade
because she's not ready. I
don't know in regards to she's not ready or whatever.
Dude, have you seen her AEW matches? Like, come on.
I'd feel for sure. Absolutely.
They were awful.
It's just that. And I think that they want to protect her and they want to involve her in Mania, but they want to protect her and put her with as many faces and people at the same time. With
that's what with legit Bianca and Asuka and Bayley, stars that are going to.
So James, let me ask you a question. You say protect her. Why? Because she ain't fucking ready. She's not ready.
Listen, Shane,
ready to be like main event, championship level ready. But I think she's
she's not ready. Period. I don't even know why everybody watch.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, maybe.
It's clear as day because she's really hasn't. I mean, you see her like pop up here and there on SmackDown, but outside of that, like you don't really see much of her. It's just like reminding her, remember, we have Jade Cargill, by the way. She might come to Smack. Oh, she is going to be on SmackDown now.
Yeah, she's going to be on SmackDown tonight. And what, in the squash match?
Yeah, she's probably a squash match.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, it'll definitely be a squash, yeah.
So, but no, listen, no, Shane, I hear you 100%. I think that's why people are so frustrated. They're like, wait, what's going on with Jade Cargill? What are we doing with Jade Cargill? But yeah, I think that, she's not ready to be in a one-on-one feud, or she's not ready to just be a part of WWE television consistently. And I think the only option for her to at least not expose her, right? They don't want to expose her and make your top freaking signee look like shit, is to put her with Asuka, with Bianca, with Naomi. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I mean by protecting her, is to hide her, to show her strengths and to hide her weaknesses. So yeah, I think we can all agree, trying to get back onto this match here, I think we can all agree Bayley, not only is she going to win this title, but she damn should freaking win this championship. Yeah. But let's move on to our next matchup. We have the world title. Oh boy, this is going to be a good one. Oh boy, the world title, the losers bracket title, as freaking Roman Reigns would say, right? You have Drew McIntyre and you have Sethington Rollins, your champion. Nick, this is the match that you chose, so you will start this off, my man. What are your thoughts? Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Talk to me, bro. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so I think this whole storyline, Drew has been putting the story on his back since the moment he won the chamber at an Elimination Chamber. And the crazy thing is, like, most of the story didn't really revolve around Rollins. He's just there because he has the title. But I'm still loving the story anyways. I love that Drew is just poking fun at CM Punk every chance he gets. He even went to Mindy's Bakery not too long ago, which was hilarious. Yeah. But I think he's doing an amazing job. I think he should win it, not just solely for that. I think that in my opinion, I think that he kind of re-signed a new deal with WWE on the table. Like, I don't think they made it public yet, or they will make it public. So I think probably the deal with that was that if you re-sign, we'll give you your moment at Mania to win a championship in front of a crowd this time, potentially leading to a feud with Punk down the line for that title. I also think that we mentioned this before when we were talking about the Becky match. I think he's also going to take time off. Not just because of family, but he's injured and he's been beaten up, and he just needs time off to recover and to recuperate, and then eventually come back whenever he's 100% healthy. He does not need to be fighting for months after, even though he wants to. I don't think he should. It's not because I don't want him on my screen. It's just for his health and safety. It doesn't make sense to keep him fighting for much longer. You
don't want to hear any more promos, Nick. I'm a visionary. I'm a revolutionary. I like it missionary. Whatever.
I just like his fashion.
My God. Right, and then the song, and then you got the freaking song. I want to see this wall behind me, guys. I want to ram my fucking head through it. That's what I want every time that fucking song.
It's so repetitive.
It's everybody sounds like Walking Dead zombies. It's just that's
no
what
one
it sounds
cares.
like. It's just like, oh my God, it's like ram it, and they purposely ram it down your throat. Like, you would have Seth Rollins with his arms open, and you would do that shit for fucking minutes and minutes.
No one wants to do it.
Right. And people get so we got to keep going.
Exactly.
Okay, when do we stop? Like,
that's why they got to cut down matches, because of that. It's like,
and they got to cut down that. Exactly. Yeah. But Nick, sorry to cut you off. Continue.
No worries. I was also going to say that, like, I personally think, I don't think it will happen. I know it's going to definitely spark on social media if it does.
Yeah.
But I also wouldn't mind seeing the cash in happen right after Drew wins it. I personally, I'm saying that because, like, again, we don't know if Drew resigned. That's still, as of right now, for us, he may not have resigned. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna leave right after this. What if they were like, who knows? We'll give you your WrestleMania moment. You win a title in front of people, get the reaction, but you're not gonna hold it if you're not gonna come back. What's the point? Out goes Damian Priest, cashes it in, he gets it back. Then we have a new champion that's gonna be permanent. Whether CM Punk comes out or not,
they can do it for Drew.
But it's like, if you're not going to resign, why are we going to give it to you? Like,
that'd be the only thing. That'd be the only thing that will probably be best, because I don't believe Damian Priest is a world champion. I don't believe he's.
Oh, there ain't no way he's walking out.
They haven't done, bro. They haven't done. He's holding onto a briefcase that's just weighing him down.
Exactly.
He doesn't.
It'll make sense storyline wise. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That'll be the only thing that will make sense.
Right.
Story wise.
Because if you remember last year when Drew and Seth were facing, Drew kept on denying Damien's cash-in. He kept on stopping him. Like, no, you're not cashing in during my match. But what if he gets it back? Like, yo, you stop me. Karma's the bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We've seen this match so many times, and I don't care to see it again.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. We've seen it going on. I didn't
want to be the one. I didn't want to be the one to say it. Thank you, Owen, that you said it. Continue, Owen.
We've said it. We've seen this match going on 3 times. 2 times Seth has won, and it has ended the same way. If I'm not mistaken, it has. Whether that's with Damien cashing in, whether that's with the stomp, whatever it is, we've seen it before. This should have been a match for Sami Zayn or someone like that. Obviously, it was for Punk before he got hurt, but they shouldn't have done Drew.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also just sick of Seth's reign in general. It's not really. I'm tired of it. He does the same. He cuts the same promo like Becky. The freaking song that he sings.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I think the wrestling world
when you call it the reign, they call us fickle for it. I mean, we wanted him to win, but not the same thing every week.
Right.
He's Roman 2.0.
That's 2.0. Oh my God. Yeah. He goes out there in his wife's clothes and he just cuts the same freaking empty freaking words every freaking week. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's just, oh my goodness, man. Christina, talk to me. Your thoughts in regards to Seth and Drew McIntyre in this title match.
Well, I really think I'm in the wrong group chat, I guess. Y'all are hating on Drew.
Oh no!
I'm not hating on Drew.
No, that's the thing. It's not Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's been great. It's just that this is a rematch. I've seen this. I saw this on a Monday Night
Raw. 3 times.
3 fucking times. Right? Like, it's not WrestleMania. That's what we're saying, Christina. But continue.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I feel like it was gonna be Punk, but unfortunately he got injured.
Right, yeah, right.
So, and I think Drew was the only Raw superstar that was in the Elimination Chamber, and the other people really didn't make sense,
But Christina, I agree. It's just Drew McIntyre's great. Like, him and The Rock are the ones selling this freaking pay-per-view. That's it.
Yeah,
there's nobody else that's doing it better than those freaking two. But what I can't stand, and I'm going to get to everyone else in just a second. I'll make this quick. I can't stand that they use Drew McIntyre to be the stepping stone to CM Punk. That's what bothers me, right? Because you can see what Drew McIntyre can do. And again, it's not even with Seth, it's with Punk. It's not even for WrestleMania. And that's what drives me up a wall. So you're going to have this same match that I saw on Monday Night Raw. They're not going to do anything different. It's going to be the same match.
Yeah, I mean, as we talked about in the beginning, Rock and Drew have been the best sellers of this WrestleMania. And Drew's been carrying 2 stories, so I think he's been doing great. I'm glad, and I expect him to win. I'm glad he's going to get that moment, in the crowd. Whether they boo him, I guess, rather than cheer him, it doesn't really matter. Just that he gets that moment. And obviously, Punk's going to be out there on commentary. That's going to be entertaining, and I fully expect him to get involved somehow, some way. Which will obviously lead to that feud down the road. So, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be, we might have seen it, but Punk's going to be out there giving a little extra something. And as well as Drew's been doing the past few months, I'm ready to see him as champion get that moment. And like we've all stated here too, Rollins is going to take some time off, and it's time. It's time for him to do that. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Drew get MVP.
Right.
Shit. I mean, he really has been doing this thing.
Yeah.
Like, really. And we done seen this match billions of times. I just think the good part about it is if it was somebody else against Seth, we probably wouldn't have got this, Drew. It was starting to cook, and it lacked a little bit, and then you know what I mean.
Right.
So
yeah,
we probably wouldn't have got this Drew like we getting now. So I know it was an audible when Punk got hurt, but hey, I think it's gonna be a good match overall. Drew needs to win it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seth Rollins, Seth is definitely going to take the night. The
time off.
He's definitely time off.
Yeah.
So, see, this is kind of leading me back to, and not to be like taking you off course for a second, but this kind of leads me back to that whole Chad and Sammy situation, because if Seth is gone, this would have been the perfect Cinderella story for Sami Zayn to go back to go over into the world title picture. My opinion.
Good point.
But the match itself, though, I mean, between Drew and Seth, it's going to be a banger, and CM Punk being on commentary, it's going to make it all entertaining.
Yeah, I was to say, I'm glad you mentioned that. Punk is definitely gonna make both men interesting, as they would say. So,
So it's like
Absolutely, for sure. But yeah, I mean, listen, when it comes to this match, man, and listen, and Nick, I hear you when it comes to Damian Priest and him potentially because it could happen, right? Yeah. The Bloodline is most likely going to get involved in this match, right? Because he's doing this shtick, because he's got this tag match, which we're going to get into shortly. So, and he's going to take time off. I think he is, regardless if Damian Priest cashes in or Drew wins the title, he's going to lose that championship. I don't see it would make sense for him to still hold on to that title at this point right now. But dude, man, give it to Drew, man. Listen, I get it. He's in this position because of the audible that was called, but dude, he's running with it. You might as well just give him the rocket and elevate this Punk feud, because I am really looking forward to see what he does with CM Punk once CM Punk gets healthy. And I'm sure they're going to maybe push something to probably SummerSlam for the most part. So who knows in regards to that. And Damian Priest, man, listen, much love to Damian Priest. Listen, he does his shtick very well with the Judgment Day. That motherfucker should not be holding on to a briefcase right now. LA Knight should have won that freaking briefcase. I said it, but I said it back then in the review, Brian, remember? And I'm saying it now. LA Knight should have won that freaking briefcase because he was white hot. Nobody gives a flying you-know-what about Damian Priest holding onto a briefcase. They haven't then, and they still haven't freaking now. So, but let's finally get into this final topic here, as I'm going to combine both of these matches into one big topic. So on one end, you have this tag match. Oh, boys, this is another good one too.
Oh, God.
The Rock and Roman versus Cody, and also Sethington Rollins, your world champion. And then you got the main event, which is Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns for the main event of night 2.
With or without interference from the Bloodline.
Yes,
stop.
And you have the
don't even add that
rule. So if Roman and Rock win, there'll be bloodline rules for the Cody and Roman match. If Cody and Seth Rollins win, then no interference from the bloodline whatsoever. I just find it kind of weird, because I think regardless, there's going to be some type of schmozzery and some type of interference anyway. So I don't understand this whole stipulation. It's just odd. But Owen, you chose this topic, so I'm going to let you have the floor, man. Your thoughts in regards to both this tag match as well as this title match between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, man. Take it away.
First off, with the tag match, I feel like this is way more about Cody and The Rock. Seth has nothing to do with the storyline between these two.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What's the point of having Cody and Roman night 1 if you're just going to have it night 2, you know?
And we saw it last year.
And we saw it last year. It's another rematch, man.
Cody should have won last year.
Yes. Thank you, Owen. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just, and that's the thing too, man. It's just like you're doing more with Cody and The Rock, because that's the thing about Seth Rollins. As much as I like Seth, he just feels like a third wheel in everything that he's doing. It makes no sense. You're trying to have him tell somewhat of a story with Drew and somewhat of a story with the Bloodline. And because of The Rock's involved, and even Roman Reigns, it's like, I don't know if you guys really listened to the promo. Brian, me and you spoke about it. It's just like, all Roman Reigns can do with Cody is just say, you're an idiot. You're a fool. Like, you're an idiot. Oh, by the way, you're a fool. Like, that's all they got. Because the story's now it's a different book. This story, right, that people want to push freaking and shove down your throat now, it's about The Rock now. It's about Cody and The Rock. It's a different book. So Owen is 100% on the money. Cody Rhodes should have. I've said it before, Brian, and I've said it again. Cody Rhodes should have won this title by now because it would have made sense for him and Brock Lesnar. It would have made sense with him with Judgment Day. And Roman Reigns could have gone on his vacation without that freaking title and would have done this whole shit with The Rock without the title, right? Exactly. And we wouldn't be in this fucking situation.
They're obviously going to have Rock and Roman beat Cody and Seth night one, and they're probably going to have the bloodline rules, and then they're going to have Cody get beat up, whether that's with Solo, who has done nothing since beating Cena.
Really
Jimmy, Jay's going to get involved. Maybe Sammy.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm really hoping Cody wins, but I'm so torn on this. I have no idea.
Right.
Because then they're talking about beating Hogan's record. No.
Yeah.
Right.
Cody needs to win. We need a new product.
I feel you, bro. I absolutely feel you.
Mm-hmm.
Christina, let me get to you. Your thoughts on this tag match as well as Cody versus Roman for the title. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I think The Rock and Roman are going to win the tag match. I kind of wish that they wouldn't, and maybe it was a clean fight on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not gonna happen.
No. Right. It's written.
And I want to believe Cody. Like I like Cody and I like Roman, but Cody fooled me last year. So you know what they say.
Correction, Christina. Correction. This company fooled you last year. This company fooled you freaking last year. And now they're just running it back, not doing anything different, but they're doing just the same thing, and they're expecting you guys to freaking care.
I mean, I'm just like I'm mad because I wanted Rock versus Roman in the first place.
Oh my god, yeah, same. But no, freaking, you got a bunch of Cody crybabies that wanted to bitch and moan, and they got their panties in a freaking wad, and now they don't even realize how much damage it's done to Cody. This dude goes out there and he doesn't explain himself. He looks more like a fucking idiot because people cry, "Oh, put him in this match. He's we want Cody, right?" Whatever, all that freaking shit, man. But yeah, it's just people listen. There's times to listen to your fan base, and then there's time to say, "Shut the fuck up! You're getting Rock and you're getting Roman," and that's pretty much it. So
that's what it should have been.
Yeah, right. Or even better yet, I would have been fine with Rock and Roman night 1 and Cody versus Roman night 2. I would have been fine with that. Why this fucking tag? Why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why? It's just, it doesn't make sense.
For me personally, it's like I'm fine with whatever result happens. Whether I would prefer the tag match end with Seth and Cody winning, because I would want to see the matches one-on-one, no outside interferences, to see if Cody can actually do it, or can Roman beat Cody without having his stooges by his side. If he could beat him cleanly. The thing is typically when they enter a feud, whoever gets the final call, the final say, ends up the one losing. For example, that what my co-host Joel always brings up is that year that Brock broke the streak, where Undertaker had the final call when he chokes him into the table, basically started contact with his hand, and then we know, Brock ended up winning. If Cody and Seth win night 1, they get the final call in that storyline, Roman could be the clear winner. So it may be a given obvious, but I would want to still want to see a one-on-one, no outside interferences, no one attacks, a clean fight. They're definitely tear the house down. Again, whatever wins, that doesn't really matter with me. I just want to see a clean fight and them to square off to see who's better than the other. So I don't really know who to win there. It's really up in the air for me.
This was a mess from the gate. This 100%. Was a mess from the jump. I mean, if you wanted Rock and Roman, you should have just done it. And why would we have Cody win the Rumble? Unless they was going to do like I think it was Stone Cold when he won it one year, and he like gave it up and something like that. That would have been fine, but we got here on a roller coaster. This was a headache. It
for real, bro.
really
Oh
was.
my
Like,
god, man.
this was a headache.
God, yeah.
The only cool part we got was Heel Rock, which thank the Lord.
Yeah,
for real, bro.
Because other than that, I mean, the whole build to Roman and Cody, dude, that promo that they had on SmackDown, that shit was bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
It felt so flat.
Oh my god. Dude, they didn't say They didn't say anything. Roman just called freaking Cody Rhodes an idiot multiple times. That was it. And then they had to stare off. And that was it.
That was bad. That was bad. And I'm sorry. I think after 5 or 6 minutes of Roman on the mic, he still can't cut a goddamn promo for 30 minutes. No, and I don't care what nobody say. We the ones, yeah. After all that, no, you cannot cut a promo for 30 minutes. So that was bad all the way.
Yeah.
This tag match this feels like Roman and Seth are just afterthoughts. Like it's really just build up.
Oh yeah,
Rock versus Cody.
It's out of place, bro. So out of place.
Why we just didn't get that match, and then if Cody wins, he goes on the night 2.
I would have been fine with that too.
And I would have been cool with that.
Yeah.
I would have been perfectly fine with that if that was the case. If that we was going to build to, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Cody got to earn it for some odd reason. I don't know why, because he won the Rumble. But hey, let's just go with that for a second.
Cena did the same thing like 15 years ago, 14, 16 years ago, where he was like, "Oh, I want my match at No Way Out, and then I would just give up my spot at the Rumble at the main."
Yeah.
Everything.
This was a headache, and oh my god, this was just. Then we're gonna get Rock and Roman winning because let's be real, why would they lose? Like, come on,
why?
Yeah.
Why would they make The Rock lose? Come on, man, that don't even make sense. So we're gonna get this overbooked main event for no reason.
It's gonna
be overbooked as shit for no reason. For no reason. It's going to be like one of them AEW moments where they overbooked for no reason. This is what it's going to be. It's going to be overbooked, and and at the end, it's going to leave a lot more questions than answers.
Yes.
And for God's sake, if Cody don't win this goddamn match.
I gotta take for you, Shane. I don't know if you'll like it, but I'll save it.
What we gonna let Roman keep the belt to bash at Berlin? God forbid. Please don't. Please.
So 2028.
I feel you, bro. Till 2028. Yeah.
Yeah, like
30-28.
30-20. Yeah.
It's hurting the other talent. It really is at this point, and it's just like, come on, man, we gotta drop this title at some point.
Yeah. No.
Will it be at Mania? I have no idea, but it needs to be for Cody's sake. It for all these Cody crybabies and all these and all this confusion we done got leading into this. Cody needs to finish the story at Mania, and that's just it. It needs to happen.
Man, you think you've seen Cody crybabies? Y'all ain't seen nothing yet, man. Because it ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Not happening. No, it's not happening.
Look, I got two lines of theories here, and one I agree with all of you. This tag match is fucking why, but it's there, and so it's gonna happen. So what I think is ultimately happening with this is Roman's retaining. I think this whole bloodline story, like this isn't.
Should have died yesterday.
This doesn't. Well, no. See, now that Rock is here, and I think there are going to be other people introduced here at Mania. I think, not necessarily with the title, but this is going to go at least until Survivor Series War Games, where you have a feud within the bloodline. That's how the bloodline is. But right now, Roman's winning, baby. Rock is back. They're a heel faction.
Listen, I love y'all, and I love y'all to death. If we get this ring to Survivor, shoot me down.
Yeah. Listen,
with Cody,
go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
Like with Cody, I'm telling you, what they're doing, man, is the same story his father did with Ric Flair. He's not winning till the third time. The third time.
At Madison Square Garden.
Maybe wherever.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Get ready, Shane.
Please,
Get ready
no.
for next year.
And listen, Shane, I'm with you, bro. Like I listen.
I don't know how they get there.
I feel it.
But droning out another year, that could be very fucking painful.
Absolutely. So what? Roman going to set up? Oh my god! No, I'm sorry.
No, man.
No,
Roman sits out for a. Come on, man. Like when the next time he competes?
I don't necessarily know that he's going to be out, but I think eventually, like I said, with all the interference here, like something eventually happens within the bloodline, and that's how you get back to Rock and Roman. Mania or whenever.
Yeah.
But that's how you get back to Rock and Roman. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I honestly couldn't agree with you more. And again, Shane, Shane, it's not that we want this, but it's gonna happen. I hate to break it to everybody. Like it's going to freaking happen because for one, they know, and we all know that Hulk Hogan's title record, or not record, just his title reign, it's right around the corner. And if WWE has the opportunity to surpass that, they are going to freaking do that. I'm telling you, right? And like you said, Brian, like they're going to do the same thing, just like his father, right? This is going to be the third time that he gets that championship, and it's most likely could potentially happen at WrestleMania next year.
No, oh my God! So that means he. Pardon me. So that means he wins the fucking Rumble for the third time, like Austin. Come on,
Possibly.
man.
I'm just saying, bro. It's possible. I'm telling you, bro. If they can sacrifice another year to drag this title reign for another year because of this title reign of Hulk Hogan, dude, they're gonna do it, bro. I'm telling you, because Brian, I've said this before. At this point, this company wants to evolve the brand, right? Because you're not going to talk about, Brian, you said it too. You said it yourself. In 40 to 50 years, you're not going to talk about Hulk Hogan, Bob Backlund, Bruno Sammartino. You're going to be talking about Roman Reigns in the next 40 to 50 years and how he held on to this title. At the end of the day, it's just business. Yeah. Trust me, Shay, we don't want this. We know that Cody Rhodes, like this shit has to end, but it's not going to, man. You're going to see this for another year. Roman Reigns, he's going to go back. And that's the thing too, because like with The Rock and Roman, it's just like, that's why I don't get about Rock and Roman next year, because, they need time to develop the story. They're also not going to be here. Freaking Rock is going to also go back to Hollywood. He's going to do some freaking movies.
They said that. They reported that already. So that whole weird shtick just doesn't make sense to me either. But and if Cody lose, who's Roman Reigns' next opponent? Just
exactly.
Who the fuck knows, man? I don't know.
Gunther.
It should be
Gunther's gonna. Gunther,
for
right?
what?
Double champ.
I don't know. I mean, dude, they're not afraid to do heel versus heel.
To lose the Intercontinental title.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, look. I mean, to wrap this all up into a bow here, and great takes by everybody. To wrap this all up into a bow, at least for this tag match in this main event. Listen, I don't give a shit about this tag. You could have done this on a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown, and I would have been fine with it, man. And it's just like the only reason why I'm even into this is because of The Rock himself. That's pretty much it. Roman Reigns has he's no longer the tribal chief. He just feels just like a secondary henchman to The Rock. That's just what he feels like. Seth Rollins being so out of place. Cody Rhodes and this company making him just look like the biggest fucking moron, never explaining himself, right? He's like, he comes into the press conference. This is bullshit. What's bullshit? You just said, I'm not going to face Roman Reigns.
You said it, Cody.
You said it, Cody. You said that shit. It's just everything up until, right? And Brian, I knew it right from the jump, even though there was flashes of afterwards with Roman Reigns and maybe, stuff with the Usos that was good, right? The turn and everything. There was flashes of good with that whole spiel.
But ever
since Cody Rhodes lost at WrestleMania 39, we knew that this shit was going to roll. I warned everybody. I'm like, this shit's going to go off the rails. They're going to drag this out and nothing. It's just nothing's going to get accomplished they're going to turn on Roman Reigns because he's still holding on to this title. And Cody Rhodes is all of his momentum that he carried into, because it's not about defeating Roman Reigns. The story is about him getting back into this main event, right? Doing what his father couldn't do, reinventing himself, getting back into the main event title picture. The struggle is saying, hey, my father looked at Roman Reigns as a father figure in NXT and developing him in NXT. Then when you were doing your shit in the indies and the overseas, that's struggle and adversity. But no, the fans were like, nah, Roman's got to hold on to this title. We need 1,000 days, right? And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And here we are, bro. And here we are. And you're going to continue to see it for the next fucking year. Go ahead, Shay.
Go ahead, man.
I think if we get this, and this is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but I think if we get this and Roman Reigns do hold the belt, for only way to save Cody Rhodes, they need to beat the bricks off of Cody Rhodes. Like, they need to dominate. Yeah. Roman needs to dominate. And if it's going to be bloodline rules, they need to dominate.
I'm telling you, I think it was a second match. Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, the Horseman broke his leg.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. If we're going to lead into Cody going the third way and saving Cody for that moment, that's what the bloodline needs to be on top. And I mean, they need to Cody needs to be written off TV for a while. They need to bricks off of Cody.
Yeah.
And here's another thing, like taking Cody out of it, like, and going forward, in which I think coming out of Mania, the bloodline is going to be stronger. But that story that they tell, and if, again, if Jacob Fatu or Rikishi, or if it's just who we have now with Solo, Jimmy J, The Rock, and Roman, that story, and with The Rock there, that's going to be fucking awesome, man. I'm telling you, I already, like, now, I'd rather see a feud between that family at a War Games more than I want to see Roman and Cody.
And to add on to that, Brian, and I said this on a TikTok before, and I've said this even on Instagram, like, a great added layer for this Cody and Roman, I think, would have been needed and would have been so freaking just much needed in regards to it. If you added Dustin Rhodes into the situation,
if Dustin could,
bro, I'm telling you, and that's how it feels like. It's Rhodes family versus the Bloodline family. It actually feels like a family freaking rivalry here in regards with, like, Brandy Rhodes, bro.
And you mentioned Brandy and
said
Heyman.
This, bro. Yep. Brandy Rhodes and Paul Heyman. How fucking great would that shit be? I'm telling you, you add Dustin Rhodes, and like, Dustin Rhodes is tremendous, even still at his age, bro. He's still fucking great. Yeah. That would have been tremendous, but of course, Dustin's in AEW, so who freaking knows, man? But that would have been, if you were to continue something like that, man. Dustin Rhodes would have been perfect. And who knows? Maybe next year, Dustin Rhodes. I don't know what Dustin's contract is in regards to AEW. I have no idea, but
I think July.
Is it July?
I think July.
So, I mean, if they push this to another year, Brian, I mean, you could possibly maybe see that. I don't know. I don't know, man, but who knows? But
I agree with you, Shane, and what you were saying. Like, if he does not win, then you have to do something big with Cody, because you can't just do the same thing you've done for this past year. Like, he has to be gone for a little bit and come back or something.
Absolutely, for sure. Guys, this was tremendous. This was amazing. This was a whole lot of fun. I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Make sure you guys go check all of these wonderful people out. I'm going to put all of their social medias, their podcasts, and all their stuff on TikTok and everything in the description down below. Make sure you guys go check them out. They're wonderful content creators. They've been such tremendous supporters to the Ruthless Talk community and this Ruthless Talk podcast. So once again, everybody, thank you guys so much for being a part of this. This was a lot of fun. Expect more roundtables like this to come. This is just the beginning in regards to it. Of course, me and Brian will talk about WrestleMania next week when we talk about WrestleMania Night 1 and 2 and the good, the bad, and the ugly. So make sure you guys stay tuned for all of that. But thank you guys so much. This was almost 2+ hours, but there was a lot of good discussion here and just a whole lot of fun. And thank you guys so much. Of course, you guys are welcome back onto this platform at any time. And thank you guys so much for being a part of it. So any final thoughts before we end this show? Anybody?
Well, I'll just say again, to reiterate what you said, thank you for everybody. Yeah, had a great time. And Definitely, you're welcome back on, and we'll have you back on at some point.
Absolutely.
Throughout just different shows. So
Absolutely.
Thanks for all your input and coming on here. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us on. We had a great conversation.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. And once again, thank you guys for supporting our platform, for supporting the Ruthless Talk community. And like I said, guys, go check them out. Shane in his podcast. Go check out Nick and the Ring Fanatics and their podcast. Christina on TikTok. She does a tremendous stuff on TikTok, as well as Owen. Owen is on TikTok too. We've created a tremendous bond on TikTok. So check them all out, man. Again, all of that is going to be in the description box down below. And as always, WrestleMania is a week. So a lot of chaos and a lot more professional wrestling debate to come. That is going to do it for today's roundtable, everybody. My name is James Porcelli.
I'm Brian Thomas.
And alongside Christina, Owen, Nick, and Shane, we are signing off saying salute.
Peace out.
And take care, everybody. Toodles!